The greatest social and familiar pressure everyone experiences is to conform. We learn early in our life that if we want to get others to help us or cooperate with us, we need to do what pleases them. We also find that we get approval for how we are when we conform to others' expectations of us. By conforming to gain acceptance and approval, we need to pay a very dear price. We lose ourselves, we create and split within ourselves a, divi- a division between who we feel we are and who we give the impression of our being, our self-image that we show others, that we become our dominant self. By this self-image, this betrays our true self, and we suffer accordingly. When we live on the outside, we are dependent on circumstances and of others and others. We focus only on outwardly, which is a superficial, and we do superficial things to try to satisfy our desire of fulfillment, not finding what we are looking for, but we go from one thing to another. It takes greater and greater stimulation to achieve some sense of being alive. More intense music, extreme sports, drugs, these are just a few. The soul journey is a shift of perspective from outside to inside. Taking the soul journey is a voyage of authenticity, a return to our true self. The, the journey does not involve disowning our self-image, our negativity, or the limitations of our personality. We acknowledge, explore, and accept what we are in our personality, but we base our living and actions in the core of our being. We learn to go outside from the familiar place we have discovered within. To be fully alive requires that we live from the source of life. This is within. Living with attention and presence to our innermost reality makes us independent and able to contribute in meaningful and fulfilling ways in all aspects of life. We then know we are alive and can direct our energies at will. Giving from our authentic self is not only fulfilling, but is also creative and empowering to others. When we get caught up in conformity, neglecting the true self within, we are only semi-conscious. The truth is that we can only be authentic as we are conscious, which means as we are soul-centered, and we are only authentic when we are soul-centered. TheSoulJourney.com. Our journey to wholeness is part of our ascension journey, whose purpose is to reconnect us to Source. And as we uncover everything that has created our separation, our challenge is to stay in balance, mind, body, and spirit. So we do not judge ourselves harshly for what we may see as a mistake. The separation was part of our journey into the third dimension, and through our return we are remembering our spiritual nature. But that does not make spirit more important than any other aspect of ourself. When we reconnect to Source and feel the love, peace, and joy that was once ours, we can judge our separation as wrong. But it was part of our contract. We were given a mind and a free will in order to be separated so that eventually we could reconnect. It was all part of the divine plan. Once we are on the journey back, we must guard against thinking that our spiritual nature is the most important and deny the gifts and the values of the rest of our aspects. It is our mission to have a human experience, and we cannot deny our humanity for our spiritual nature. If we are too spiritual and try to focus our energy too much in the spiritual realm, we are not grounded on the earth and cannot effectively function here. We also risk becoming spiritually arrogant and disconnected from those who spiritually understanding and the knowledge which is still developing. If we do that, we are creating another level of separation, and we are alienating those who need us and whose ascension depends on our assistance. While we each have an individual ascension journey, we are part of and connected to the human family, which is also ascending. Our connection is important to all of humanity, and each of us contributes to everyone's ascension. Balance is a key to the wholeness, and we have a world of evidence to show us what being out of balance creates for us. A focus on any aspect of our being over another is simply a judgment that we use to justify our fear of divine retribution for what we believe is our sin, the separation. Each aspect of our being, body, mind, and spirit, is necessary to our growth, our presence here on earth, and our ascension. So we can honor all aspects of our being and appreciate them for what they are and how they help us create heaven on earth. Each of them is equally important, and our ascension happens when we recognize and honor all of them.